Good afternoon, everybody. This is Dr. Hoskins at Pure Cower Now in Inman, South Carolina. Beautiful, beautiful upstate of South Carolina. It's a gorgeous day out. We'll get a few rains later on, but that's the summer down here. It's not quite Florida. We can count on it at 3:05 p.m. every day or 1:27 p.m. every day, but we do get showers in the summertime. That makes everything grow better. But I'm sure that's why you tuned in, just to figure out what the weather is down here, because you know it's going to be the same no matter what I say, because it's always gorgeous in the upstate of South Carolina. I wanted to talk to you about subluxation, vertebral subluxation. A lot of people in the profession, outside of the profession, poo-poo the notion, yes, I said poo-poo, poo-poo the notion of the existence of the chiropractic vertebral subluxation. But I want to share with you that that term has been around since the 1600s. It was used to describe a dislocation of the spine that was less than a full dislocation. It didn't involve ligamentous tear. It didn't involve any kind of permanent ongoing damage, but it was definitely there. And even in the 1600s, it was way before x-rays, they could tell that there was something less than a dislocation that caused interruption in what was normal. And then in the 1890s, into the 1890s, D.D. Palmer comes along, and he describes it in a chiropractic way of the malposition of joints in the spine, or bones in the spine, that causes occlusion of the foramina between the bones in the spine, putting pressure on the nervous system, either locally or distally or even remotely, with the tug or push or pull or entrapment or whatever kind of other pressure you can think of, that causes interference with the transmission of mental impulses. Innate intelligence is what rules our body. You can call it whatever you wish, the autonomic nervous system. You can talk about the universal wisdom and intelligence, a small portion of that. It's in every cell of our body. It's in every organelle of our body that allows it to do what it does so that we stay alive and functioning as a human, or as a tree, or as a cockroach. But every living thing has this innate intelligence in it, giving direction to every part of its body, cellular, subcellular, so that everything functions in union, in harmony, in ease. When vertebral subluxation is there, that's where the nerve system, and I use the term nerve, not nervous, but the nerve system is most susceptible to pressure. That and the brainstem, which is up in the upper part of the neck. That's where it's most susceptible to pressure. Otherwise, it's very, 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 very well protected with an extremely thick insulating cover of myelin or with the bones. So those two places, the upper neck, where it protects the upper 2 or 3 vertebrae, protect the brainstem, and in between the vertebrae and the vertebral foramen, that is where the pressure, very slight pressure, can affect the entire nerve system. But more specifically, that nerve root or that section of the brainstem. What we do as chiropractors is unique, and this is what the whole talk today is about: is our unique selling proposition. Is that interference in and of itself is so detrimental to the life and living life and experiencing life and expressing life. It is so detrimental to our ability to adapt to our environment at a very high level, which is why we are the peak predators, the peak of the food chain, why we can occupy every biome in on this globe right now. It interferes with our ability to adapt and to defend ourselves from our environment. Just think about that. So if there's interference, which we call vertebral subluxation in the system, you can't function like you're supposed to. If you can't function like you're supposed to, you can't survive like you're supposed to. You can't experience life like you're supposed to. You can't express life like you're supposed to. You can't enjoy your kids. You can't mow your lawn if that's what you like to do. You can't ride your motorcycle as long. You can't drive your truck as long. You can't change the oil as often or by yourself. You have to take it to the Jiffy Lube. You can't change your tires. You can't go drifting. You can't go. You just go down the list. With interference in your system, you can't do what you want to do as well as if the vertebral subluxation is gone. That's what we as chiropractors do. That's our unique selling proposition, if you will, from a salesman standpoint. If you're just talking about neck and back pain, there's a lot of professions that can do that. We do it extremely well, but that's not our unique selling proposition. There's a lot of other professions that what makes us different, what makes us a unique individual, set aside, separate and distinct profession is our training and our philosophy of vertebral subluxation. So that's why you need you and your family taken care of. That's why it's so important. That's what we focus on here. We obviously listen to you. Pain is part of a normal system. It's just not the reason why we give chiropractic adjustments. But it can be used in the overall scheme of where things might be. But we don't use it as a final or even primary factor of where we adjust if we need to adjust. But we need to hear your story. You need to hear our story. We need to figure out how that fits together, and then we can go on with lifetime care, because that's what we really, really, really want to do at Pure Chiro now. I know it's been a long rambling, but I wanted to get that unique selling proposition thing in there, and you needed to hear some of the distinctives for that to make sense. Appreciate you guys. Hope you had a great week, July 4th week. I know a lot of you are on the beach or wishing you were on the beach, Sandra. But that time will come, and we'll make it happen together, and we'll have lots of fun. But you need to see your chiropractor on a regular basis. Get your family in, get your friends in, get your neighbors in, so you can live in an unsubluxated community, which would be a wonderful, wonderful thing. Love you all. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.